I watched the new episode of Korra on Friday, Peacekeepers, episode 5, and here's my reaction, thoughts, whatever you want to call this. And really, I think it was actually a nice episode. It was a good episode. I mean, the story I thought was interesting, and it moved at a very good pace, and I especially liked the story with the president and all that, and how that was working. And it was really nice to see the return of General Iroh. He was really one of my favorite characters in the first season that I thought they kind of underused, and I was kind of glad that they brought him back. And it treated a lot of stuff with politics and how and it was kind of weird because also you could kind of make the connection with America, how we are getting into other people's like business, while in Korra it was just like, well, we can't really interfere with the people in the South Pole because that's not really our business. It's really theirs, and that is it shows a good policy, and teaches kids watching the show, just you know maybe there's a reason why people shouldn't interfere, but they're whatever. So I mean, I kind of like that conflict with the president and how he feels about interfering with other affairs, and I think that was a nice focus on that in the story. Now, the animation, I can't remember hearing they're using two different animation studios in episodes, and as a whole, that's kind of my complaint with the season. That's what I like about season one a little bit more was it was a consistent animation, so it had same kind of backgrounds and all that same team. And this one they're using two studios, and that to me is just it's weird because I thought that they were using the new studio, whatever whichever animation studio they're using, just to do the episodes involving the first Avatar series. I thought, but instead we're getting like two studios working on you know each episode, and that to me is just it's troubling because it's an inconsistent pattern, and when you look at a season as a whole, it should be consistent. It shouldn't have any consistencies. If anything, if the animation is gonna get really good, you should see that by as it goes. So it's a gradual improvement than just random spikes in quality. But even then, I still like the animation. I just thought the backgrounds in this particular episode were just kind of dull. I mean, there were some nice scenes like uh, the scene with the march. I can't remember what it's called, but the scene where they got a firebending attack, pretty much. And I so like that, and that background was cool, but there was just so many other backgrounds that were just kind of bland and just. So I think, and especially with some of the lighting, it just made the characters look a little bit weird. But either way, the animation studio really nailed facial animations really well, where it's had more variety, it had much more motion and realism to it. While sometimes in the past it really wasn't that varied. Uh, but yeah, that's it for the animation. I mean, either way, it's good animation, and I'm still enjoying it so far. But it's just I can't wrap my mind around that inconsistency of just jumping between animation studios whenever. Um, and also a lot of people were also bringing up Korra's attitude, saying oh, she's just an unlikable character in the season, and I don't know, I kind of I mean I see that I can see how she could be unlikable, but in my opinion, she kind of has a reason in this episode in particular. While in the other episodes, she might have been. I mean, I do think that it was okay with Tenzin in the first two episodes how she talked to him, but I think the way that she talked to Mako and how she talked to her father, I thought was just kind of unnecessarily angry. I mean, I get being angry at her dad for lying to her, but I mean, there was this like one scene that when she told him to leave, I thought that was weird. But in this episode, her anger to me felt justified in a sense because she really felt passionate for the Southern Water Tribe, and she felt passionate for protecting her family, and all this all this stuff. That's her hometown, and that's kind of why I think that her being aggressive and angry about that makes much more sense than if she was just you know, like Aang, because I mean, Aang already lost his old tribe and all that, and he did get really mad. But over time, wounds healed. But with Korra, it's just like it's ongoing, and she found a way to she found a possibility to help her family and all that, and then she can get it. But my only complaint I have is I think the writers don't know how to write relationships very well. I mean, there is some. I think that's as a whole, but if you look at with everything that Malco's explained to her, oh, this is a bad idea or something. He never really explains the outcome. Like, if you do this, this is what's gonna happen, and then it's gonna be much worse than it is. But instead, it was just this is a bad idea. Well, I'm just ready to save the world. Well, you suck at it. It's like that's not gonna do anyone any favors, and especially when he found out about the about her going behind the president's back to get General Iroh on her side, and when they broke up with her, it was just I still feel like Mako just could have worded things better. As I don't know, it's like they almost made him sound like a complete idiot at times, and then other times it's like okay, well he makes sense, but it's just he doesn't. It's just he had two opportunities to calm her down, and he instead of calming her down, he just made it worse. So I don't know. I mean, like I like the dialogue with oh taking his side and he's like let's do taking sides, but it's just like it's still he doesn't really he should have just really explained what could be the potential outcome, but whatever. I mean that's like the only complaint I had. The Desna Eska thing is okay, but I gotta say I'm kind of over the Eska gimmick. I mean, I get it's funny for people, and there are some genuinely funny scenes with her, but I'm just so over that kind of character because I've seen that kind of character in so many shows, and it's just it's nice that there's a form of refreshing characteristics with Eska, but it's still that same kind of clingy psycho girlfriend character, and it's just like I just wish that she wasn't in the season almost. But otherwise, it was a good episode, and I enjoyed it. I kind of like that the ending was nice. How she got eaten by the spirit. Thought that was great. Um, and I do want to see more Tenzin vacation arc. That's so far my favorite arc in the season. But other than that, it was a good episode. I enjoyed it. See you next time.